What do we do?
Just because they're gone doesn't mean they weren't great. The disappearance of these foodie favorites left fans asking why. It seems everyone has lived this experience at some point, so we bring you more of the 20 greatest discontinued foods of all time, Part 3.
All right.
Pringles Prints.
Pringles are for champions only.
Here's a snacking innovation that took the chip experience from the bag to the tube, and for a few years got even wilder. Pringles Prints were a Pringles variant that hit shelves in 2004 and featured edible, high-resolution images printed onto each individual chip. The prints included entertaining tidbits like jokes and pictures, and eventually licensed tie-ins with games like Trivial Pursuit, alongside popular movies and TV shows of the time. But crossover promotions with NASCAR races and Spider-Man movies weren't enough to save the novelty from wearing off before Pringles Prints wore out their welcome and were pulled from the market.
Your dad's pulling it off the market.
Doritos Collisions.
These are the bomb!
Here's another discontinued chip that had a great idea but required too much effort to stick around. In 2007, Doritos decided that two great tastes would taste great together and introduced Collisions, featuring bags that went half and half on two flavors in one. Combos included hot wings and blue cheese and enchilada and sour cream. Unfortunately, this required Doritos to come up with completely new chip flavors that they did not sell individually just so they could pair them together. And over time, the process became too inconvenient for the company. The crossover combinations had to break up, and Collisions crashed permanently as an all-time great discontinued food.
Really? You're eating Doritos?
Taco Bell Double Decker.
Got a taco inside another taco!
The 2019 reimagining of Taco Bell's menu saw a long-standing great get the axe. The Taco Bell Double Decker Taco rolled out in a massive marketing campaign in 1995, buoyed by commercials featuring celebrity appearances from director Spike Lee and NBA star Shaquille O'Neal. Delivering exactly what the name promised, the Double Decker featured two tacos in one, wrapping a soft tortilla around the outside of a classic hard-shell taco, and was around for almost a quarter century. Despite demand, the Double Decker got knocked off the menu harder than a Shaq slam dunk, and it still hasn't made a return.
Please come back.
Klondike Bar Choco Taco.
Choco Taco?
Tacos are always good, but this particular taco was so cool it was frozen. You surely remember the classic jingle, "What would you do for a Klondike bar?" But according to the backlash after it disappeared, folks would do much more for a Klondike Bar Choco Taco. With roots stretching back to an independently owned ice cream truck in Philadelphia in 1983, the taco-shaped ice cream sandwich was a fixture of the frozen food aisle for almost 40 years. Unfortunately, just in time for summer 2022, and right when a Choco Taco is in its highest demand of the year, the frozen delight disappeared. You'll now have to get ice cream the old-fashioned way, in a cone, sandwich, or a bowl, since this taco shape has officially said adios to the marketplace.
I'll miss you.
Pepsi Holiday Spice.
Go easy on the Pepsi.
Move over Pumpkin Spice Latte, the original fall and winter seasonal beverage, holds down a spot as one of the greatest. Announced to the world in August of 2004, Pepsi Holiday Spice was in stores on an 8-week limited release from November 1st of that year through to December 31st. Sold with a faux retro throwback label that featured appropriate Christmassy snowflakes and the original Pepsi-Cola logo, the Holiday Spice twist warmed hearts and taste buds. However, it only returned to shelves for the 2006 holiday season and has been discontinued ever since. This is a December discontinuation that's even worse than getting a lump of coal in your stocking.
You're such a good person. No coal in your stocking this year.
Crystal Pepsi.
Do I make myself as clear as this, Crystal Pepsi?
Here's another Pepsi product that hasn't made a full-time comeback. They say transparency in marketing is important, and when released in December of 1992, Crystal Pepsi was completely and literally transparent. The see-through soda was essentially normal Pepsi without the food coloring and had 20 fewer calories as well as none of the caffeine. Crystal Pepsi's run was bright but brief and only lasted a year before being officially discontinued by 1994. There was a brief return to stores in 2016 and a limited release to contest winners in 2022, but our crystal ball doesn't see another comeback in Crystal Pepsi's future.
Pointless.
Wild Berry Jolly Ranchers.
Pretty please?
Here's a long-gone candy that was a little bit too wild for its own good. Jolly Ranchers have seen their share of changes over its decades as our favorite hard candy, expanding from the original 3 flavors to experimenting with all kinds of different tastes that have come and gone. However, one particular set of flavors might be the most missed, and that was the wild berry Jolly Ranchers that were discontinued in 2012. These wild and tangy tastes came in a set of 5 flavors per bag, consisting of raspberry lemonade, strawberry watermelon, wild strawberry, mountain berry, and blue raspberry. Over a decade later, these wild wonders are still lost in the jungle, waiting to make a return.
It's real.
First time here? Well then welcome! Now go ahead and hit that subscribe button and never miss out. Thanks, you're the best. Philadelphia Cheesecake Snack Bars.
Can I come in? I bought you some cheesecake.
This snack went the old-school version of viral when Kraft Philadelphia Cream Cheese pioneered a series of commercials featuring winged angels talking about just how heavenly the taste of Philly was. But this discontinued spin-off snack bar might need some angels and a miracle to bring them back for good. The refrigerated snack had Philadelphia cream cheese layered on top of a graham cracker bar and featured a flavored jelly topping like strawberry cheesecake. They were only available from 1999 to 2003 and discontinued due to manufacturing difficulties with the graham crackers. So until they make a return, it looks like Philly cheesecake bars have gone to snacking heaven.
The humans finally did the right thing!
The KFC Snacker.
It's great.
I love KFC.
Back before the chicken sandwich wars dominated the nation, the Chicken Kings at KFC got in on the action with a smaller take on the fan favorite. The KFC Snacker was a 2000s hit as a portable and affordable one-hander take on the basic chicken sandwich. And even if it doesn't make sense at first, the discontinuation of the snacker was a direct result of how popular it became. Rumors swirled that the snacker was so popular it was causing a drop in sales of traditional original recipe chicken, and the restaurant needed to axe the snacker to save their most famous product. The snacker was phased out in 2013 and gone for good by 2014, but it wasn't the first time KFC discontinued one of its biggest hits.
Honey, do you think KFC's still open?
The KFC Double Down.
Double Down!
This discontinued all-time great appealed to customers looking for a truly extra meat fix. The spring of 2010 introduced the legendary KFC Double Down, wherein the sandwich actually replaced the top and bottom buns with 2 chicken sandwich breasts and replaced the chicken in the middle with cheese and bacon. An immediate smash hit, 10 million of the sandwiches were sold across the USA in its first 3 months, making $50 million in sales. But the double effect on our arteries might have had a hand in the disappearance when it was pulled from American stores in 2014. A brief 4-week return in 2023 wasn't enough to keep it around, and absence continues to make the heart grow fonder for this doubly delicious chicken delight.
Delicious.
Butterfinger BBs.
Elvis. Oh, Henry. Butterfinger?
The full-size version of the Butterfinger candy bar dates back to its 1923 invention in Chicago, Illinois. But it wasn't until 83 years later that the company would break hearts by discontinuing one of Butterfinger's spectacular spin-offs. Butterfinger BBs debuted in 1992 as a smaller, snackable bite-sized version you can enjoy by the handful, and were a big hit during Butterfinger's peak years when they were advertised by The Simpsons. While Bart Simpson's famous catchphrase in those 1990s commercials warned that,
Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
It turns out somebody did when Butterfinger BBs were eventually discontinued in 2006. It was just a sign of things to come, though, with a bigger Butterfinger betrayal on the horizon.
Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
The original Butterfinger formula.
Okay, next question for the Butterfinger.
12 years after the loss of Butterfinger BBs, Butterfinger as we know it also disappeared, at least as far as your taste buds are concerned. When Nestle was sold to Italy's Ferrero Group in 2018 for almost $3 billion, Butterfinger went under the microscope. The then nearly 100-year-old recipe was overhauled, which, among other changes, included using bigger peanuts. The new ingredients eventually increased sales and to a wider audience, but old-school fans will always want to lay a finger on a discontinued Butterfinger.
Can I have a Butterfinger too?
McDonald's Pizza.
It's pizza time!
Pizza's reputation as a favorite food will never be discontinued, but the 1989 introduction of pizza to the McDonald's menu eventually did. 3 years of research and development weren't enough to prevent the rollout from being a disaster, even if the pizza was actually pretty good. Even with high-speed cooking ovens, the extended prep and cook time made waiting up to 16 minutes per fresh pizza way too long for the otherwise speedy fast food biz. Plus, restaurants needed remodeling to fit the pizza ovens and warming bins, and drive-through windows were not built to fit large pizza boxes. By the year 2000, McDonald's officially pulled the plug on its McPizza.
Who is it?
It's Little Nero, sir. I have your pizza.
McDonald's Mighty Wings.
Everybody loves chicken wings.
Pizza and wings might be the ultimate game day combo on football Sunday, so you have to give McDonald's credit for attempting both, even if they were both eventually discontinued. Mighty Wings had an initial run from 1990 to 2003 before being discontinued and then tweaked before returning to the market 10 years later in 2013. With the new version expected to be a big seller, McDonald's loaded up on an astounding 50 million pounds of chicken wings in preparation for the product to fly out of the deep fryers. Even with improvements, these wings still wouldn't fly and were discontinued in less than 4 months.
Chickens don't fly.
McDonald's Szechuan sauce.
10-piece McNugget and a bunch of the Szechuan sauce.
Here's one more long-gone Golden Arches great. Dipping sauce is a key component of McNuggets, and the most famous of all might be Szechuan sauce. Released in 1998 as a limited-time tie-in with Disney's animated feature film Mulan, the short-lived sauce's reputation for deliciousness gave it a shout-out on Cartoon Network's Rick and Morty show nearly 20 years later, which spurned brief comebacks for it in 2017 and 2022. Despite demand, McD's Szechuan sauce's word-of-mouth staying power isn't enough for it to ever be released on a full-time basis, and it seems destined to stay a lost legend.
It's delicious, and then they got rid of it, and now it's gone.
Toaster Strudel Boston Cream.
I'm not going to keep toaster strudel in my house.
Pillsbury toaster strudels have been on the breakfast menu since 1985, but in the decades since, we've had to say goodbye to a few great flavors. Marketed as a better alternative to Kellogg's Pop-Tarts, toaster strudels went as far as to use the marketing slogan, "Something better just popped up," in 1994. But what was perhaps their best flavor was discontinued not long ago. The Boston Cream Pie toaster strudels were phased out in the late 2010s, and by November 2021, Pillsbury announced on what was then Twitter that Boston Cream Pie Toaster Strudel was officially toast, with no plans to pop back up in the future.
That better not be my last toaster strudel.
Blue Raspberry Pop-Tarts.
We have Pop-Tarts.
Unlike its toaster strudel competition, Kellogg's Pop-Tarts have always been shelf-stable at room temperature instead of needing to be frozen. And the brand itself has been stable since debuting in 1964, utilizing this then-new technology from the Post cereal company of dehydrating meals and sealing them in foil to maintain freshness, which, believe it or not, was a technique first used on dog food. Their discontinued favorite was the short-lived blue raspberry flavor that ran from 2015 to 2018, mimicking the popular tang of blue raspberry-flavored Powerade, Kool-Aid, and Ices. But unlike the discontinued Pop-Tart kind, those versions are still going strong.
So good.
Coca-Cola Blak.
Give me a liter of cola.
Blue raspberry makes for a great sports drink flavor, but it won't give you the buzz that this next drink did. Traditional Coca-Cola sells nearly 2 billion bottles a day around the world, with an average of 10,000 Coca-Cola products guzzled down globally every single second. But over all those years of drinks, some of the attempted experiments didn't wind up at the top of the popularity list. In this case, Coca-Cola Blak was a coffee and cola fusion beverage that was part energy drink, part soda, and part cup of Joe that debuted in April 2006. Coke eventually hit the snooze button on the inventive idea and discontinued it after just 17 months.
Are you talking about Coca-Cola?
Jell-O pudding bites.
How do you make Jell-O?
Just mix it with water and let it sit.
Even from a company that relies directly on molds, you need ideas that will break the mold. Jell-O pudding bites totally bypass the idea of needing a spoon, stick, or even a plastic disposable cup to enjoy Jell-O pudding by injecting chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry flavors into bite-sized chocolate casings. The concept was both creative and convenient, but reviews after a few years weren't positive, and pudding bites' popularity plummeted by the end of 2004. Contrary to the company's original slogan, maybe there's only room for Jell-O if you get to eat it the old-fashioned way.
Oh, Jell-O's my favorite.
Taco Bell Caramel Apple Empanada.
Gimme, 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 gimme.
You can't beat the sweet feeling of finishing a meal with a decadent dessert, but at everybody's favorite Mex-inspired munching spot, you've now got one less option. Cinnamon twists have been the standard Taco Bell dessert since 1988, but for the last decade and a half, the twists set competition from the Caramel Apple Empanada. The Liv Moss tweak on a standard fast food fried apple was a big hit with customers, but was eventually shelved in 2019. Some folks blame the new Cinnabon partnership for taking over the empanada spot, but no matter how you slice it, this awesome apple treat has been shuffled back to the orchard.
Will you stop? It's just a piece of fruit. Eating a piece of fruit is not going to change your life.
For more, check out part 1 or 2 of this video. Just tap or click. And if you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. Thanks.